Talking about Julian Alvarez throughout this window, but there have been developments today, and Mark, you can keep us up to date.
Yes, significant developments, and these have happened in the last few moments, really. We've had a statement, actually, that's come from the Atletico Madrid CEO, Miguel Angel Gil, and he's been speaking to Movistar. This is quite extraordinary. This is what he said. My personal dream is for Julian Alvarez to stay at Atleti. If he wants to leave the club, we will look for an alternative, but he will never, ever, ever go to Barcelona. You don't get much more clear than that. Now, just to fill in the context of that situation, Barcelona have wanted the player throughout the course of this summer. Julian Alvarez wants to go to Barcelona. He has not been training today for the second day in a row due to what we're being told is illness. He joined Atletico in August 2024. Cost them around £80 million from Manchester City. You know him well, having watched him at the Etihad. However, there is interest from Arsenal. What's significant about this connection is, of course, that Andrea Berta, the current sporting director at Arsenal, signed him for Atletico Madrid. So there is a connection between the sporting director and the player, and that's where Arsenal come in as they look to maybe strengthen in that department. But of course, right now they are stacked with strikers. That's not an area of concern. However, if they were to recycle some of the players, generate some money and reinvent that striking options that Mikel Arteta has, maybe Julian Alvarez could be one of those players. Now, Mikel Arteta has been speaking to the media today ahead of games at the weekend, and he was asked directly about Julian Alvarez. Here's what he said.
How have your conversations with Julian Alvarez gone?
Don't go there.
He's a player you know well. Obviously, Andreas signed him as well for Athletic. Could that be a part of the whole scenario?
You know, I'm not going to make any comment with any player that is not with us.
Generally speaking, though, moving on, last question about transfers. Only one more press conference to go before the transfer deadline, by the way, after this, Mikel, you'll be pleased to hear. But just generally speaking, when you sign a player, we know that you need that player to be all in. They've got to want with their heart and their mind, publicly and privately, to want to join Arsenal. Is that always going to be the case?
Publicly, I never asked them. I think it's more privately to get the feeling that that they feel something unique, an attachment, a feeling that they really want to join us and they have that desire to come and be part of our family.
Michael, isn't that exactly the point? I asked this question last night, I'm going to ask it again. Why would Arsenal want a player who they know doesn't want to play for them?
Well, we don't know whether he doesn't definitely not want to play for them. He
wants to play for Barcelona.
Yeah, well, he can't now, can he? I mean, they've said, and I love this Atletico statement. I really do. It's quite rare. And if you stick to it, and they have to stick to it now. There's been statements galore about it, say you are not joining Barcelona. So he's got two choices. He either has to reconcile with the Atletico Madrid supporters and the club, or he goes to London, North London. So that's the options he's got. But looking at the footage from last Sunday when they were booing him, I was in that stadium in March, and that they are a loud, big crowd, 70-odd thousand, and he was really taken aback by the booing he received. I just get this feeling with Arsenal, like he knows something good's going to happen in the next few days, Mikel Arteta. He's got this glint in his eye. I don't know, I just feel something. I feel like he knows something good's going to happen.
Do you know what's funny? When you sit in a Mikel Arteta press conference, he can be quite cold, he'll be quite measured, he can answer the questions in an almost robotic manner. The way Gary Cottrell sort of had him on a string there, and he just had Mikel smiling before he'd even finished asking the question. It felt like there was a charm there. There was a cheeky glint, like Michael says. There was something there. Maybe he knows that they're working in the background. He knows that there's a possibility that deal can happen.
Sami Mokbel has said Atletico Madrid privately communicated to Julian Alvarez earlier this week that they will not sanction Dream Barcelona transfer. He has since missed 2 days of training. Atletico reinforced Barca stance with two statements. Atletico will sell to Arsenal. That part there is massive for Arsenal. I honestly believe right now, and I've said it since the very, very beginning, and people have said, Henry, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, right now, it looks like Julian Alvarez could be joining Arsenal. Atletico Madrid sent a delegation to London last week to speak with Arsenal about Julian Alvarez. Just coming out from Ben Jacobs. Look at the bottom part of it. Arsenal are prepared to bid in the final few days of the window if Alvarez decides to join. Arsenal believe Atleti would be flexible on structure if Alvarez decides to return to England. It looks like right now, according to all of the credible sources, and this only come out 10 minutes ago. Like, I physically don't think I can bring you news any faster than this. Fabrizio Romano put out the statement earlier today from Atletico Madrid. And he said, Atletico Madrid announced they will not sell Julian Alvarez to Barcelona. Unanimous backing from the board of directors from the club's strategy. The members of Atletico Madrid's board of directors have unanimously expressed their full support on the club's decision. Atletico Madrid are convinced that our player will understand the decisions and focus on working in the best possible way to help Atletico Madrid. And he has missed training yet again. Now, as it stands right now, I don't see a world in which he stays at Atletico Madrid. And I said this before, and I will say this again. What other big football club right now is focused on signing Julian Alvarez? Andrea Berta knows about this deal from top to bottom. He will know every single clause in Julian Alvarez's contract. He will know the wage structure. He will know what wage he is on. He will know if there is a potential hidden release clause that sometimes comes out after the transfer goes through, you know, due to NDAs and whatnot. And right now, Andrea Berta was the guy who brought Julian Alvarez to Atletico Madrid. It is going to get very, very interesting in the next few days. Sammy Motbell has said it is understood the discussions between Atletico and Arsenal over a club-to-club agreement for Alvarez have been positive. Indeed, in the event of Alvarez giving Arsenal the green light to proceed with the signing in the coming days, a deal should move quickly. Let me know your thoughts right now. Whether you support Liverpool, whether you support Man City, Man United, Arsenal, Spurs, whoever it is. What are your thoughts on Julian Alvarez signing for Arsenal? I think, my personal opinion, I don't know what you guys think, but my opinion, Gabriel Jesus will be leaving Arsenal Football Club. Victor Gyökeres, in my opinion, will be leaving in the next 12 months. It is abundantly clear right now that Kai Havertz is Arsenal's main man.